Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another AJAXCAST. Episode 4 of House of the Dragon dropped last night, and it was definitely our most controversial episode. I'm here with Lots of the Bear and our boy Tupac Shukar. We just want to give a quick little recap of the episode, but overall, what'd you guys think of it?
Very eventful, I would say. So
Lots.
a lot of drama-esque stuff went along, and I think it set up a lot for what's about to happen internally for
Yep.
the throne and all that stuff.
Yep.
Lots of sex.
Yes, lots of sex. Lots of sex.
Incest is back. What a great show. Gotta always include
Incest.
the incest in Game of Thrones.
We're
I love
officially
it.
into Game of Thrones. There's actually been incest. And how about off the rip, that little kid just murking that dude that was talking shit to him.
That was awesome,
That-
I loved
honestly.
it. I loved it.
He just fucking
He
gouged
stabbed
him
him.
and said, "Get the fuck out of here." All right, but so the episode started off. Rhaenyra's sitting on the little throne with Baratheon and Sir Criston Cole, and then you can see the little kid that gutted that motherfucker. And basically, she's trying to pick who her husband's gonna be, and she doesn't like any of them. And she ends up turning back to King's Landing, and as she's pulling in, Daemon's dragon Bloodworm comes and fucking about knocks the ship over. And I know we were kind of talking about this in our prediction. We didn't know what the hell was going to happen when Daemon got there. And I was like, oh shit, he's going to try to challenge for the throne and whatnot. But he did the actual opposite. He gave the hammer that the crab feeder had to add to the throne. And he actually bent the knee and gave his crown to Viserys. Because after he won down there in the Narrow Sea, they named him the King of the Narrow Sea, and he said there is only one true king, and that is you, and then bends the knee to his brother, and then his brother kind of forgives him, and all is good. And then after that, we get in the garden underneath that beautiful tree. We see Daemon and Rhaenyra have their first encounter in years since he went and got the egg back from her. And I already knew then that the tension was weird. And I was like, yep, this is probably when the incest is going to start. And,
I'm for it. I think they should get married, take the throne,
yeah,
rule
well,
together.
Trent, they did what married couples do. He shows up in his Obi-Wan Kenobi robes, after showing her like a secret passage, or I don't know, had like a X on the
There's a
map.
note in the laundry.
Yeah, it was the note in the laundry. Gave her some like scrubs, and they went and they partied. They saw Mr. Fireball Hands. They saw a chick with no eyes who said that she could tell you how you die, and they went to a play, and that was all they did, right? Nothing else. Nothing else. They just kind of wandered around.
They fondled around a little bit.
Yeah, once
I don't know. It's the gossip around the castle,
Yeah, and
know what's
they end up
going
in the
on.
brothel. And Damon's showing his niece, who's 20 years younger than him at least, around a brothel, and just kind of saying, "Yeah, this is the place. This is the shit." And they're about to do it. Her pants are down, and then he just dips. He dips. We don't see him until the next day, where he's hungover as fuck. And Rhaenyra was seen leaving, and when she leaves, she lures in Sir Criston Cole into her chambers, and they get it on.
I'm team for that. They're a good-looking couple, but I don't know, Damon might be.
I think it's because he looks a little bit like
Or-
Jon Snow. Like, the guy that plays Criston Cole kind of looks like Kit Harington.
He
It's
might
the
die.
hair.
I don't know. I can see him dying.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see what happens with that. But that's a match I would much rather prefer, even though he's not supposed to take a suitor since he is part of the King's Guard. But moving forward, as they were leaving the brothel, a fucking snitch saw him. This little kid went and snitched to Otto Hightower, who had sent people to spy on Rhaenyra for a while, because obviously he wants his grandson Aegon II on the throne. And Otto Hightower goes and tells King Viserys, and then Alicent overhears it. She confronts Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra promises a few things, and she wasn't technically lying, but she was definitely bending the truth. So,
Yeah, I don't know why everybody's got to go around and gossip about it, bro.
I know. And then we also saw the great relationship between Alicent and King Viserys. King Viserys hit her with that "you up" text at 4 a.m. and yeah, that was a little awkward.
That was
Ah,
yikes. She
that
didn't
was
look
big
like she
yikes.
was liking it.
Oh, really? Did
And
the
he's got lots of lesions on his back. I think a sign of tetanus.
from sitting
Yeah.
on the Iron Throne and it just cutting
Yeah.
the fuck out of him? Yeah. He's dying. He's missing
Missing like
half
what, 2 fingers, three
half of two
fingers?
fingers. Yeah, and yeah, he's pretty fucking sick right now. I'll be surprised if he makes it through episode 5.
Is the baby boy the son? What's the deal with him? I didn't see him at all in the episode.
Yeah, they didn't show him, but they showed that they have a daughter as well.
Okay.
But they did
Maybe
not do much
part.
after that. Later on, Daemon is brought in to King Viserys, and he doesn't deny it. Daemon lies right there, and right when I thought Daemon was starting to be like a good guy or his character was starting to flip, he does that, basically lies, even though it's worse for him to lie right there. And then tells Viserys, wed me and Rhaenyra. And
Yeah.
he didn't
I'm
like
game
that.
for it.
Yeah, it would be pretty powerful, but that incest and relationships like that are still not seen very well in Westeros. Before the Targaryens and everybody came over the Narrow Sea, that was one thing that they, were accustomed to, but as of late, that has not been the move. And so moving forward, he says no, and then says, "Get the fuck out of here! Return to the Vale, to your bride, who he hasn't seen in fucking years and that he hates."
He's a Dragonstone, I thought.
No, so, his wife is in the Vale, but Dragonstone is not his. Dragonstone is technically Rhaenyra's. So he was not supposed to be there. That's why there was that whole confrontation.
Yeah, I guess they had that whole thing like a
Yep.
couple episodes ago, but he was there. I just assumed
Yeah.
that's where he was staying.
Yeah, he hasn't been there since the Battle of the Narrow Sea where he killed the crab feeder.
Okay, yeah. No, he's at the Vale.
Yep. But moving on forward, Viserys confronts Rhaenyra, and then Rhaenyra was basically saying, "This sexist ass world. If I was a dude, I could go and have a bunch of bastards and fuck whatever whore I want and all that." And then he's like, "True, but you were born a girl and you are the heir to the Iron Throne." Yada yada yada. And then she said that Otto Hightower has been spying on him and that his judgment can't be trusted. And Viserys finally realizes that Otto Hightower is a little corrupt. So Viserys goes to Otto Hightower, takes his hand to the kingpin, and tells him to get the fuck out of there. And yeah, pretty much as the episode was ending, the only other big thing is Rhaenyra says, "Okay, I will marry the son of the sea snake."
The Valyrian guy, eh?
Yep, Laenor Valyrian. And
So wedding is next
Yep,
episode.
wedding's coming up next.
I got what I think is going to happen.
Yep, we'll do a prediction video on it. But overall, the episode was very intriguing. It had a lot of what the fuck is going on. We'll dive more in depth on each part, but if you guys haven't seen our past AJAXCAST, go ahead and check them on out. I'll put them all down in the bio. Also, if you want to compare our predictions of episode 4 to how it actually turned out, you can check out our most recent video, because I think we were pretty spot on with some predictions. So you guys are going to have to go and check that out. Before we end it, is there anything else you guys want to say, Lotso or Tupac Shukar?
Check
guys
us
are
out on
right about-
Spotify.
Yep.
You were right about the sword or the dagger. They acknowledged the dagger this
Yep.
episode. You
They
didn't say
did
anything
acknowledge
about
the
that.
dagger, which was fucking sick. Overall, I'm enjoying the series so far, and we hope to see you guys next time. Peace.